Welcome back, everyone. Boom. There is a virtual, digital fist bump. Ready for chapter 9 and 10? I'm ready. So, last time we left each other, Ruku and Viji were sleeping on the bridge with Mutu and Arul, and it seemed like they were going to let them stay. And so far, so good as far as how the bridge is going. Okay, chapter 9. A cool breeze rose from the river, waking me and riffling the edges of my skirt. My stomach growled like a starving tiger. At home, the two of us would have been up making breakfast. We had been poor, but at least we always had something to eat. When you woke, I knew you would be hungry too. Maybe we could go to the tea shop and ask if we could work there again. Kutu woke with a snort. Oh. He snuffled at your face until you sat up. Amma, you murmured. Just us, remember? Go home now, Viji. We live here now, Ruku. Our own place, like in our story. Palace? Kind of. We rule ourselves here. So it's as good as being princesses, I said. You lifted your head high and surveyed the ruined bridge like a princess. Down by the riverbank, people were bathing. I spotted the boys by the river's edge. From our bundle, I grabbed a change of clothes and our toiletries, towels and a water bottle. We walked down to the water with Kuti at our heels. Up close, the river was not beautiful. It looked more gray than silver. We watched Arul dive off a rock, his heels kicking an old cardboard carton that bobbed past. With a joyful yip, whoo, Kuti splashed in, then ran back out to meet Mutu, who was still standing on the rock. Mutu laughed as Kuti shook his coat the way dogs do, sending a shower of droplets into Mutu's face. Now I don't need to wash, he said. What a thoughtful dog you are. Good dog, you agreed. Ruku's dog. Want to come for a swim? Mutu grinned at you. The water's nice and cool. No, I said. Ruku can't swim. Oh, let her have some fun. Arul was wading to the shore. We won't take her where it's deep. Mutu cupped some water and let it dribble down your back. You giggled and slid into the river with all your clothes on. Don't worry, Arul said. We'll see that she is safe. You splashed one another for a while, ignoring the litter that floated by. Kuti swam around you in circles. If you hadn't been enjoying yourself so much, I would probably have dragged you out. Part of me was irritated that you'd gone right ahead to bathe with the boys without me. But then it was the first time I had seen you make friends so easily. It was a nice change after years of meeting kids who hadn't been kind or warm to either of us, except for Subu, whom Arul resembled a little bit. Want some soap? I asked the boys. None for me, Mutu said. I smell good enough already. But Arul thanked me, and I waded into the water, and we started washing ourselves in the clothes we were wearing. When we got out of the water, I gave the boys one of our towels, and Arul accepted it gratefully, though Mutu said he preferred to dry off in the sun. Behind a bush, you and I peeled off our clothes and changed into the dry skirts and blouses. I'd brought. With our fingers, we scrubbed tooth powder on our teeth and rinsed off with the last of the water left in our plastic bottle. Back at the bridge, I wrung out our wet clothes and towels and weighted them down with stones to dry in the sun. Hungry, you announced. Sorry, I said. Don't have anything. We'll have to go find something. No banana? No, sorry. Papaya? You suggested. No. Guava? No. No pomegranate, no jackfruit, no oranges, no zapotes, no sweet limes, no nothing. No, 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 you repeated faster, louder, and more annoyed each time. No, 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 no. No, 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 Mutu joined in. You stopped and stared at him. Let's sing together, Ruku, he said. No, no, no. Kuti lifted his nose and let out a musical howl. Ooh! No! You laughed and clapped your hands. No, no, no. I'd seen you laugh before, but never quite like this. This was the first time you had broken in to a smile, into a laugh halfway through a tantrum. And the first time you laughed without hiding your mouth behind your hands, as if you were scared to be happy. Now you threw back your head the way Mutu was doing, and the three of you howled away like a pack of jackals. Hungry and homeless though we were, I felt I'd done the right thing by leaving. Chapter 10. Unwelcome. The city was waking up as we walked toward the tea shop. Women were busy with their everyday routines, drawing columns to decorate the ground before their houses. I wonder if columns are like that article we read before the break, the patterns in chalk, right? You remember that? I can't remember the girl's name, but it was those fancy designs and flowers. Sorry. Women were busy with their everyday routines, drawing columns to decorate the ground before their houses. At one home, you stood entranced as a woman showed a girl how to let rice flour fall evenly through her fingers to make the patterns with smooth, white lines. The tea shop man was pouring frothy glasses of chai when we arrived. You wanted to walk right back to the kitchen, but I stood waiting for the man to notice me. If we showed him what polite, hard-working girls we were, surely he'd let us work for him again. Maybe even pay us money this time. Go away, he shouted. I looked behind us to see whom he was shouting at. You, he yelled, get that dog away from my shop. It's a good dog, I began. But the man shook his fist at us. Kuti growled. I picked him up and held his squirming body tight. Auntie, you cried. Sure enough, tea shop auntie had opened the kitchen door a crack. She beckoned. We took the long way around the shop, and I set Kuti down. He settled his head on his forepaws and closed his eyes. Auntie led us in the back door with a slightly frightened smile. You said Ruku liked beads? My irritation at her asking me instead of you vanished when she thrust a bulging bag into my hands. Inside the bag was a beautiful collection of jewel-toned beads, as well as some neatly knotted bundles of twine. Thanks, I breathed. Look what Auntie gave us, Ruku. You were dazzled by the rainbow of color as I was. You settled down on the floor of the shack at once and started making a necklace. Fiji, If you can watch the stove, maybe I can quickly show your sister some bead tricks. Of course, Auntie, I said. She sat with you, showing you ways to tie pretty knots and braid strands together. Every now and then she shot a worried look at the door, but the tea shop man didn't bother us. You were so happy. I felt reluctant to leave, but after a while my worry took over, and I told you I had to go find a job. I refilled our bottle, and tea shop auntie pressed the plastic bag with bananas and vadai into my hands. No, auntie, you already gave us too much. Don't argue with your elders. She insisted on giving me something else, a raincoat. Belonged to my daughter. Her eyes flickered across the picture of the young girl next to the picture of the goddess. Gave away most of her things when she died. But this was new. And I just couldn't part with it until now. Thanks, Auntie. I tried to squeeze all my gratitude into those two small words. As we left, Tea Shop Auntie walked outside with us. Try your luck there. It's where the rich people live. She pointed at the distant temple tower rising above the forest of buildings. Maybe someone will want a maid, she said. But don't be too trusting. The world's not always a kind place for two poor girls like you. The back alley wasn't as deserted as it had been the day before. A girl dressed in rags pawed at the hem of my skirt as we walked by her. She was sitting on the sidewalk. Give me something, the girl whined. I have to look after my brother. See him? She gestured at a small boy, stark naked, who was sleeping behind her. Had they been runaways too? Kasu kadunga ka, she wailed. Give me some coins, sister. We don't have any money, I said. It was almost true. Money. You patted the money patch at my waist. I shouldn't have lied. You never did. Oh, sorry. This was the Rukus talking. Sorry. Money? You patted the money pouch at my waist. Sorry. I shouldn't have lied. You never did. We have no money to spare, Ruku. Your eyes welled up as you gazed into the girl's tear-stained face. Okay. I untied the drawstrings to take money out to give to the girl. But before I could take a coin from the pouch, the girl's bony fingers clamped tight on it, and she yanked it out of my grasp. No! That's everything we have! The girl scampered out of reach, her bare heels disappearing as she turned a corner. Her brother forgotten. Kuti yipped and darted after her, but I called him back. Even if I'd felt less tired, I couldn't have chased a girl with such a pitiful voice and such haunting eyes. And besides, our money wouldn't have lasted much longer. We needed a job. I looked for work in a few of the tiny shops we passed on our way to the temple. Roadside shacks selling brightly colored clothes and cheap cerise, fruit stalls humming with flies, a fragrant flower shop near the temple whose two little girls sat weaving garlands of jasmine. I saw more people that one day than I'd seen our whole lives, but nobody noticed us. We were in plain sight, but we were invisible. Okay, that is the end of chapter 10. Now you will go back to classroom and work on the responses in the comment section. Yesterday you did an absolutely wonderful job. Your comments were detailed, smart, creative. Couldn't have been more impressed. So I can't wait to see it today.